Do you ever feel like your body just isn't working the way it used to? Maybe you feel a little less energetic, or maybe some aches and pains have started to become constant companions. We often talk about diet and exercise as we get older, and those are absolutely vital. But there's a deeply personal part of our lives, something often left unspoken, that a growing number of doctors and health experts are realizing has a profound impact on our physical and mental health as we age. Ignoring it, simply letting it fade away, can lead to consequences you might not expect. There's a quiet reality that neglecting intimacy in later life isn't just about missing out on pleasure. It's linked to a surprising list of health challenges that can make your golden years feel less golden. This video is going to uncover what happens when this important aspect of well-being is pushed aside, and why paying attention to it, or finding ways to maintain it, is crucial for staying healthy and vibrant. We're going to explore the specific ways your body and mind can be affected. You might be surprised by what the science is showing. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about just how interconnected your health truly is. Now, let's dive into the first significant area where a lack of sexual activity or intimacy in older age can really start to show its effects, and that's on your cardiovascular system. When you think about keeping your heart healthy, you probably picture brisk walks, maybe cutting down on salt or fats. And those are incredibly important pieces of the puzzle, absolutely. But regular sexual activity is actually a form of physical exercise. Maybe not a marathon, but it gets your heart rate up. It increases blood flow throughout your body, and it can strengthen your heart muscle over time. Think of it as a natural, enjoyable workout for your heart. Without this particular type of activity, that gentle but consistent cardiovascular conditioning is lost. Your heart might not be getting that specific kind of workout it benefited from before. Beyond just the physical exertion, though, there's a deeper connection. Sexual activity and intimacy release a cocktail of beneficial hormones in your body. One of the most significant is nitric oxide. This molecule helps relax your blood vessels, making them wider and allowing blood to flow more freely. This improved blood flow is fantastic for your overall circulation and specifically reduces pressure on your artery walls, which is a key factor in managing blood pressure. When this activity becomes infrequent or stops altogether, your body produces less of this vital nitric oxide through this particular pathway. Over time, blood vessels can become less elastic, potentially contributing to higher blood pressure and a greater risk of heart issues. It's like a natural mechanism for keeping your plumbing healthy is being used less and less. Consider also the impact on stress. Life doesn't get less stressful just because you hit a certain age, does it? Maybe the sources of stress change, but they're still there. Intimacy, including sexual activity, is a powerful stress reliever. It releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that act as natural painkillers and mood boosters. It also releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which promotes feelings of calm and connection. High levels of chronic stress are incredibly damaging to the cardiovascular system. Stress hormones like cortisol can increase heart rate, blood pressure, and even contribute to inflammation, which is a major player in heart disease. If you lose this natural, potent way of mitigating stress and boosting mood through intimacy, your body might be left with fewer tools to combat the negative physical effects of stress on your heart and blood vessels. It's not the only way to manage stress, of course, but it's a significant one for many people, and its absence can leave a void that other activities might not entirely fill in the same way. Furthermore, regular sexual activity has been linked in some studies to lower levels of homocysteine, an amino acid that, when present in high levels, can damage artery linings and increase the risk of blood clots. While the exact mechanisms are still being researched, the correlation suggests that maintaining this aspect of your life could be part of a broader picture of internal bodily health that supports your circulatory system. Think of it as one piece of the complex puzzle of keeping your body running smoothly. Without it, that piece is missing, and other parts might have to work harder or become more vulnerable. It's not just about intercourse either. Even other forms of intimacy, touching, kissing, cuddling, release those beneficial hormones like oxytocin and endorphins. These acts of connection lower cortisol levels and promote relaxation. So, even if full sexual activity isn't possible or desired, the lack of physical intimacy altogether can still mean missing out on these hormonal benefits that help protect your heart and manage stress. The body responds positively to affectionate touch and connection. When that goes away, especially after years of it being present, The system that relied on it for a certain level of hormonal balance and stress relief has to adapt, and not always for the better from a cardiovascular perspective. So, while you're eating your healthy vegetables and getting your steps in, remember that maintaining intimacy in whatever form is right for you plays a role in keeping your heart and blood vessels healthy as you age. It's a natural, built-in mechanism that has physical benefits that go far beyond emotional connection. Ignoring this aspect means potentially losing a valuable tool in your health arsenal, one that supports good circulation, helps manage blood pressure, and provides a powerful antidote to stress, all of which are critical for preventing cardiovascular problems. It's a quiet warning from your body that this connection is important for its physical function, not just your happiness. Now that we've delved into the significant impacts on your cardiovascular health, let's turn our attention to another area profoundly affected by the absence of sexual activity and intimacy in older age: your hormonal balance and its ripple effects on everything from sleep to immune function. As we age, hormone levels naturally shift. That's a given. Estrogen and testosterone levels decline in both men and women, which brings its own set of changes. However, regular sexual activity can influence the levels and fluctuations of certain hormones in a beneficial way. Take testosterone, for example. While primarily associated with men, women also produce it, and it plays a role in energy levels, muscle mass, bone density, and mood in both sexes. Studies have indicated that sexual activity can temporarily boost testosterone levels in both men and women. While the increase might be transient, consistent activity contributes to maintaining levels that are more optimal compared to complete inactivity. Lower testosterone is linked to fatigue, loss of muscle mass, weight gain, and even a decrease in motivation and mood. If you lose an activity that helps stimulate its production, even slightly or temporarily over time, this contributes to the general age-related decline, potentially accelerating or exacerbating its effects on your energy and physical strength. Similarly, consider estrogen in women. While sexual activity doesn't directly increase estrogen production, the act of intercourse helps maintain the health of vaginal tissues, keeping them more elastic and lubricated, which is supported by residual estrogen. When sexual activity stops, these tissues can become thinner, drier, and less elastic more quickly, leading to discomfort or pain if activity is attempted later. This physical change, while seemingly local, is a manifestation of broader hormonal shifts impacting tissue health. Furthermore, the decline in estrogen contributes to issues like bone density loss. While not a direct link to lack of sex, the overall hormonal environment is interconnected, and activities that support a more balanced hormonal state are beneficial. Let's talk about cortisol again, the stress hormone. We touched on it regarding heart health, but its impact is far broader. Chronic high cortisol levels, which can be exacerbated by stress that isn't effectively managed, suppress the immune system, disrupt sleep cycles, and contribute to weight gain, particularly around the midsection. The oxytocin and endorphins released during intimacy act directly against cortisol. They help lower its production and counteract its negative effects. Without this regular release of anti-stress, pro-relaxation hormones, your body might be operating with a higher baseline level of cortisol, making you more susceptible to illness, poorer sleep quality, and persistent feelings of anxiety or being on edge. Imagine having a built-in release valve for stress that you stop using. The pressure builds up elsewhere in the system. Sleep is another critical area. Insomnia and disrupted sleep are common complaints in older age, and they have a cascade of negative health effects, impacting everything from cognitive function to metabolic health. The release of oxytocin and endorphins during sexual activity promotes relaxation and can lead to a deeper, more restful sleep. By providing a natural end-of-day wind-down that reduces stress and promotes a sense of well-being, intimacy can be a powerful aid to healthy sleep patterns. Losing this can mean one less tool in the box for achieving restorative sleep, leaving you feeling more tired and less able to cope during the day. Your immune system also feels the effects. Regular, moderate physical activity is known to boost immune function, helping your body fight off infections. As mentioned, sexual activity is a form of physical activity. But beyond that, the stress reduction and improved sleep associated with intimacy also have positive effects on immunity. Chronic stress and sleep deprivation weaken the immune system, making you more vulnerable to colds, flu, and other illnesses. By contributing to better stress management and sleep, maintaining intimacy indirectly supports a more robust immune response. Some studies have even looked at specific immune markers, suggesting a link between regular sexual activity and higher levels of certain antibodies like IgA, which play a role in protecting against respiratory infections. So you can see how the absence of this activity isn't just about missing out on pleasure. It triggers or contributes to a cascade of hormonal imbalances and physiological changes that impact your energy levels, your ability to manage stress effectively, the quality of your sleep, and even your body's ability to defend itself against illness. It's a foundational aspect of well-being that, when neglected, can start to pull at the threads of several different health systems in your body, making you feel older, more tired, and more vulnerable than you need to be. It's a silent signal from your body that these biological processes are linked and that maintaining this part of your life is beneficial for keeping your internal systems running smoothly and supporting a healthy hormonal environment as you navigate the later decades of life. Moving on from the hormonal and basic physiological impacts, let's delve into how the lack of sexual activity and intimacy in older age can specifically affect your physical structure. Things like muscle tone, joint health, and even pelvic floor strength, areas crucial for mobility and comfort as you get older. We often think about lifting weights or doing yoga to maintain physical function, but regular sexual activity involves movement, flexibility, and engaging various muscle groups, even if subtly. Consider muscle tone and flexibility. While perhaps not the equivalent of a gym workout, sexual activity involves a range of motions that engage core muscles, hip flexors, glutes, and even upper body muscles depending on the position. It encourages flexibility and helps keep joints mobile. When this activity stops, you lose that specific, often unthinking way of moving and stretching. Over time, this can contribute to increased stiffness, decreased range of motion, and a more rapid decline in muscle tone in these areas compared to someone who remains active in this way. It's like a natural form of gentle exercise for these specific body parts that is simply stopped. A particularly important area this impacts, especially for women but also relevant for men, is pelvic floor strength. The pelvic floor muscles support the bladder, bowel, and uterus in women. They are crucial for bladder control, bowel control, and sexual function. Regular sexual activity, particularly orgasm, involves contractions of the pelvic floor muscles. This acts as a form of natural exercise for these muscles, helping to maintain their tone and strength. As we age, these muscles can naturally weaken, leading to issues like urinary incontinence, which is incredibly common, but not an inevitable part of aging. Stopping sexual activity removes a significant regular stimulus that helps keep these muscles toned. Without that regular workout, the age-related weakening can accelerate, increasing the likelihood or severity of pelvic floor dysfunction and related issues. Think of it as losing a built-in exercise routine for muscles you rarely think about but rely on constantly. Joint health is also subtly influenced. Sexual activity involves moving joints through various ranges of motion. While it might not prevent arthritis, maintaining a degree of flexibility and mobility in the hips, knees, and back through regular gentle movement like that involved in intimacy can help lubricate joints and prevent them from stiffening up as quickly. Lack of movement in general contributes to joint stiffness and pain. The absence of this specific type of movement, which often occurs in privacy and without the conscious effort of formal exercise, means another opportunity for gentle joint articulation is lost. Beyond the purely physical structure, the lack of intimacy also has profound effects on cognitive function and mental well-being, arguably some of the most significant consequences. The release of oxytocin and endorphins we discussed earlier doesn't just affect stress and sleep. These hormones are powerful mood elevators. They combat feelings of depression and anxiety and promote feelings of happiness and connection. Loneliness and social isolation are major health risks for older adults, linked to everything from cognitive decline to increased mortality. Intimacy provides a unique form of close connection that combats these feelings at a very fundamental biological level. Losing this connection can exacerbate feelings of isolation, leading to increased rates of depression and anxiety. The emotional void can be significant. Cognitive function is also intertwined. Engaging in sexual activity requires cognitive engagement, planning, responsiveness, sensory awareness. More importantly, the stress reduction and improved sleep associated with intimacy are critical for brain health. Chronic stress and poor sleep are known to impair memory, concentration, and executive function. By helping to manage stress and improve sleep, intimacy indirectly supports cognitive function. Furthermore, the social connection aspect is vital for brain health. Staying connected, having meaningful interactions, and feeling close to someone are protective factors against cognitive decline. The absence of intimate connection removes a powerful source of this crucial social engagement and emotional support, leaving the brain more vulnerable. Some studies even suggest a more direct link, proposing that the increased blood flow and hormonal activity during sex may have neuroprotective effects. While research in this area is ongoing, the overall picture suggests that maintaining this active, connected part of your life contributes to a healthier brain environment. The mental stimulation, the emotional connection, the stress reduction, the better sleep, they all work together to support cognitive vitality. When you remove this piece, the entire system that supports mental sharpness and emotional resilience is affected. It's not just about missing out on a physical act. It's about losing a significant source of feel-good hormones, stress relief, quality sleep, and deep emotional connection, all of which are foundational for maintaining a sharp mind and a positive outlook in later life. The mental and emotional consequences of this absence can be just as, if not more, impactful than the physical ones, potentially leading to a decreased quality of life, loss of interest in activities, and a general feeling of languishing rather than flourishing. It's a quiet decline that impacts your sense of self and your ability to fully enjoy your life. So we've talked about how neglecting intimacy can impact your cardiovascular system, your hormonal balance, sleep, immunity, muscle tone, joint flexibility, pelvic floor strength, cognitive function, and mental well-being. It's a surprisingly long list, isn't it? It highlights just how integral this aspect of human experience is, not just for pleasure or procreation, but for maintaining physical and mental health throughout our lives, including as we age. The warning isn't about guilt or prescription. It's about awareness. It's about understanding that your body and mind benefit from intimacy and sexual activity in measurable ways. If this part of your life has stopped for whatever reason, whether it's lack of a partner, health issues, or simply a change in desire or circumstances, acknowledging the potential health consequences is the first step. It's not about forcing something unnatural. It's about recognizing the benefits and exploring what might be possible for you. Maybe for you, it means finding ways to nurture physical intimacy with a partner, even if it's not traditional intercourse. Hugs, kisses, massage, simply holding hands. These actions still release those beneficial hormones like oxytocin that combat stress and promote bonding. Maybe it means addressing health issues that are getting in the way, whether physical discomfort or hormonal imbalances. There are medical solutions and therapies available that can help. Maybe it means finding other ways to ensure you are getting enough physical activity that works those core and pelvic muscles. Maybe it means actively seeking out social connection and engaging in activities that bring you joy and reduce stress to compensate for some of the emotional and hormonal benefits that intimacy provides. The key takeaway here is that ignoring the role of intimacy in aging isn't a neutral act. It has consequences that can impact your health in significant ways. Your body thrives on connection and movement. While sexual activity provides a unique combination of both, the broader concept of intimacy and physical activity is crucial. If sexual activity is not possible or desired, focusing intensely on other forms of physical exercise that engage similar muscle groups and on nurturing deep emotional connections with others becomes even more vital to help mitigate the potential health declines we've discussed. It's about being proactive about your well-being across all dimensions. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Understanding these potential impacts is about empowering yourself to make informed choices about how you want to live your later years. It's okay to talk about this with a trusted doctor or a partner. Opening up the conversation is important for finding solutions that work for you. Don't feel embarrassed? Health professionals understand that this is a part of overall well-being. We've covered a lot of ground exploring the links between intimacy or the lack thereof and your heart, hormones, sleep, immunity, physical structure, and mental health. It's a reminder that our bodies are interconnected systems, and nurturing one aspect can have positive ripple effects on many others. Living a healthy, fulfilling life in older age involves paying attention to all these different pieces, I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What are your perspectives on maintaining intimacy as you age? Have you noticed any of the effects we discussed? Sharing your insights can help others in this community feel less alone and more informed. If you found this information helpful, please give the video a like. It helps me know what kind of content resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on health and well-being for people in their prime years and beyond. My goal is to provide you with practical, easy-to-understand information to help you live your best life at every age, feeling vibrant, healthy, and connected.